Alright, so we are going to talk about one of the most ridiculous things that is going on not only in the comic book community, but also in the film industry. And that's saying something because, while the comic book community, it's full of a lot of awesome people with great opinions and discussions, it's also a cesspit for stupidity to the nth degree. I mean, it's never ending. It's getting to the point where now I'm kind of wondering if these people are taking something because... yeah, anyway, so let's just get into it. So, I already kind of talked about this with Batman v Superman. And people were saying, critics were brought up by Marvel to hate DC because they hated Man of Steel and now they hate Batman v Superman, right? That's their logic. It can't be a bad movie. It's a masterpiece. It's as good as The Shining or whatever people were saying. People are stupid. I already made a video on that. One in particular, critic... Grace, I'm not afraid to say her name. Yeah, you have brought up this and put it to a head, basically. Now you have a whole rabid fan base who supports this idea, right? So that was Batman v Superman. I thought, okay, so this is going to be a DC thing now. If they have a bad movie, whatever. So now we're having this problem with Fox's X-Men Apocalypse because early reviews have come out. And now people are saying, oh, Marvel has paid off the critics, and now not only is it against DC, but it's against everybody. Everybody that is not a Marvel movie. So if you're making a comic book movie and you're a Sony movie, well, I guess, I don't know if they'll do that for Spider-Man now, because technically Marvel and Sony are working together. But whatever, we'll see what people say. I can't predict cancer, okay? I can't. So yeah, we've got Sony, potentially. We've got Fox. And we've got DC Warner Brothers, right? Because Warner Brothers owns DC. So Warner Brothers DC is one, then Fox. And I guess, I don't know about Sony. I don't know what they're going to do with them, but whatever. So, there's so much wrong with this that I can't even begin to explain. But I'm going to try my best. Because it gets to the point where you try and think about this and reason in your head. And if you have a fully functioning brain, you can't. You can't. It's just impossible. Okay, so... people have this crazy thing where they think, oh, Marvel benefits from using their money that they could be getting back from their movies, and they're not only going to pay critics to praise every one of their movies, okay? Because generally people like the Marvel movies that are coming out ever since Iron Man 1, right? People are liking them. And not only are they saying, oh yeah, man, those are good, but they're also saying, you know what? All the DC movies, they suck. Warner Brothers, all of them, their competition, you gotta X them off. Fox, their competition too. You know what? The X-Men movies, they suck. They suck. Okay? Here's the problem with that. Well, there's a lot of problems. So, just kidding. Number one, where is your proof? Where is it? Where is your proof? High ratings on Rotten Tomatoes? Really? Or low ratings? Whatever. That's it? So, you're basing this whole thing off of an assumption. Because until I see actual evidence, yeah, I'm going to think you're crazy. Because you are crazy. If you think this, I don't care. You are insane and you need help, okay? If your number one problem in life is to think, oh man, somebody didn't like this movie I haven't even seen yet. Therefore, everybody's paid off. This movie's going to be amazing because I'm such a fanboy that I can't handle anyone else's opinion unless it says, oh, it's amazing. That's a problem. That is a personal problem. You need to work on that, okay? Because, let me tell you, Disney, Marvel, huge. Huge. Marvel in the comics is huge. Obviously, in the films, they're huge. And since Disney owns Marvel, they are together. Disney's also freaking massive. I don't really think I need to say any more about that, right? So, if they are doing all this, there has to be some sort of evidence that somebody has found. Because you can't even have a set picture, okay, that's not supposed to even be taken. And people take the picture and upload it online. There are entire plots leaked to movies that haven't even hit the theaters yet, okay? There are rumors that leak from actual movies. Batman v Superman's a perfect example. So many of those rumors ended up being true. Like Doomsday, that was like a full year before the movie even came out and people were saying that. Okay? So if you guys think that they can keep this huge conspiracy under wraps, you're sorely mistaken, because nothing in this day and age stays hidden. Nothing. Everything gets exposed at some point. It doesn't matter how private you're trying to keep it, it will get exposed. There will be an email leak. There will be some sort of payroll leak. I mean, come on. Think about how many critics there are. And we're not only talking about critics. Why stop at the critics? They got to get the people on YouTube too. So all the big people on YouTube, Collider, they're paid off. Screen Junkies, they're paid off. Jeremy Johns, he's paid off. Chris Stuckman, paid off. I could go on and on, okay? They got to pay all them off because guess what? They have a large audience. They're huge critics. In fact, they have a bigger audience than most of the normal critics, as you would say, the people that write in the papers or whatever, right? They have a bigger audience, so you got to pay all them off too. So why is it that none of this is leaked out or no one has made any sort of actual legitimate speculation based on facts? Because it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, okay? So when you can finally find proof of that exposes Disney and Marvel, please, we'll talk then, okay? But until then, stop with the nonsense, okay? 9/11 did happen, okay, and we did land on the moon, okay? Just stop with the crazy conspiracy theories, please. Okay. Number 2. If this was indeed true, think of the ramifications. There would be job losses like crazy, okay? Because guess what? Disney, they would go under. And so would Marvel Studios as a film industry. Now, we're not talking about the comics, because unless they're paying off comic reviews, then it's whatever. But their film industry would go under. Somebody else would have to buy Marvel, okay? Because Disney, they couldn't own them anymore because they would go under. They would have subpoenas out the wazoo. People would be going to jail left and right, okay? If you think that this would just fly in our society, you're crazy, okay? Because let me tell you, someone saying that they like red more than blue is considered like a crime in modern day media. So if you think that this is gonna fly, oof. Not unless you're running for president, but that's a joke. Whatever. So anyway, they're not going to get away with this, okay? They're not. And now we come to what I think is probably going to be my final point, which is, okay, if they are paying off critics, okay, they're paying off critics to bash Man of Steel, they're paying critics to bash Batman v Superman, okay? And now they're paying critics to bash X-Men. Now let's think. Are these the only 3 comic book movies that have come out in like the past couple of years? No, they haven't. Because Iron Man 1 came out, 2007, 2008, somewhere around there, okay? It was in like the mid-late 2000s, okay? Ever since then, Marvel's been building up their Avengers. Then Avengers Phase 2, now we're in Phase 3. Yes, we're in Phase 3. So, it's been going on for a while. So, why is it that all the movies, ever since Iron Man came out, why weren't they all rated low? And people say, oh, well, they were. What about the Dark Knight trilogy? No, really. What about it? One of the most critically and financially successful comic book trilogies about a DC character that was coming out during all this Avengers stuff, okay? The Dark Knight came out, relatively late into, I wouldn't say late, but it came out during the Avengers stuff, right? And The Dark Knight Rises, seriously, same deal. So why is it that one of the most successful, critical, and financial comic book film trilogies. Now, of course, this is subject to change because Marvel's coming out with blockbuster after blockbuster, but you get my point. Why is it that they weren't paid off to hate The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, and heck, why not Batman Begins? Because Marvel had to have known that they were making their universe, right? Because Iron Man was in production, had to be around the time that that movie came out or something. There were talks. So why didn't they go ahead and pay him off for that movie too? Oh, they didn't. Oh. They didn't because, I don't know. I can't reason. I'm sure one of you will come up with something stupid, so feel free to leave it below. Why didn't they pay people off for Deadpool? That was a Fox movie, and that came out literally this year. Why? Why did everybody like that movie? Interesting. Interesting, isn't it? Why wouldn't they have paid that off too? Why didn't they pay off the past X-Men movie, Days of Future Past? Because people seem to like that. So why is it rated critically high? Huh? Why is that? It came out during the Avengers stuff. Why didn't Marvel say, you know what? We're going to pay you guys off. This movie sucks. No, they didn't do that. They didn't do that for First Class either. What about Fantastic Four? I didn't hear anyone saying anything about Fantastic Four. Everybody seemed to just hate that movie. Oh, was it actually a bad movie? Okay. So, let's go one step further. Since you guys like to just take it to the next level, let's do this, okay? We are going to look. Now, we're just doing Warner Brothers because, good God, we could do this for everything. Let's look at some of the biggest Warner Brothers series, and I'm going to try and pick the modern ones. And you guys tell me why they didn't pay them off. Because, okay, Disney, they want to be number one because they got movies. Aside from Marvel, they got tons of animated stuff and all that, live action too. So why aren't they paying off critics for all those movies too? Oh, well, people seem to generally like them, right? Okay, don't remember people liking Maleficent very much, but whatever. Let's see how they feel about these movies, okay? Harry Potter. Why didn't they pay him off for Harry Potter? Because Harry Potter was still coming out during the Avengers stuff. That should have been paid off, because guess what? Disney, they gotta be number one. They have to be. They have to be number one, no contest. Every other movie just has to suck, okay? Dark Knight, I already said that. Hangover. Warner Brothers. Why not? Why did everybody like that movie? The sequels were still somewhat liked, I think. But why is it? Why? What about the Lego movie? People seem to really like the Lego movie. And that had Batman in it. Didn't have a Marvel character. Interesting. What about Godzilla? That movie came out recently. People seem to like it. Why? That movie sucked, didn't it? Yeah. Surely it sucked because it wasn't Disney or Marvel, so why weren't they paid off to hate that movie? What about Mad Max Fury Road? That won a ton of awards, as a matter of fact. That was recent. Why weren't they paid off for that too? Why stop with Warner Brothers and Fox? Because, as you guys know, Disney, they're a big film industry. So why don't they just pay off every single critic of every single movie? And then people will only want to go to the theater for Disney. You know why? Because that's retarded. Sorry, but it is. It's stupid. Stop thinking this. If they're going to pay off DC, which is stupid, because Disney's mainly known for their what? Their animated movies, then they're going to pay off everybody, okay? They're going to do it. And you know why else? Think about this apocalypse scenario where Disney paid off every critic of every movie, or at least most of them. Nobody would want to go to the theater anymore. The theaters would go bankrupt. They would have to shut down because everybody would know all the movies suck, right? So that would not benefit Disney at all. In fact, that would hurt them. Which is exactly why they would never do this in the first place. Because if people like Batman v Superman, the general audience is like, oh great, more superhero movies this summer. Not, oh great, more superhero movies this summer. So start thinking with your heads and your brains. If not, read a book or something. I don't know. Or just get off the internet, please. Just think, people. This is stupid. It's not real. There is no conspiracy. Movies are good. Movies are bad. Movies are okay. Okay? Okay. That is all I had for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to thumbs it up if you did. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. That's all I have for now. Catch you guys later.